Hi.
Welcome back.
Episode 6?
Yeah, I was gonna be like, welcome back to episode, but then I was like, ugh. I remember I was listening to it last week and I was annoyed by myself when I did that. Is it bad that I listen to myself and then change who I am because I got annoyed?
No, because like you're just trying to work on your
Being less annoying.
to yourself at least.
Yeah.
Nobody else thinks about that.
That's good. You guys don't think I'm annoying?
I'm not annoyed by you, so I mean.
That's good. That's
and
good.
we're in a room alone together for an hour, and if I'm not annoyed by you, then are you annoyed by me? Oh my goodness, am I an annoying person?
No, I just think I'm always annoying because my brother used to tell me all the time when we were kids that I was so annoying. And I was like, I am kind of annoying. And like ever since I was like, you know, some things when you're kids just like stick with you. That always stuck with me. I was like, I am kind of an annoying person. So I've always like tried to hold back on who I am. No.
But let the annoying you break free.
More just try to be less obnoxious.
Sometimes I tell Christopher all the time that he's annoying. All the time. Because he does it on purpose. He'll be like, he'll just make one tone.
Yeah.
For like a half an hour. And I'll be like, can you stop?
Like in Dumb and Dumber. Do you want to hear the most annoying sound in the world? I won't do it. But Dumb and Dumber is a great movie.
I have never seen that actually.
100% guarantee laughs.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. Do you own it? Obviously you do.
Yes, I do. I own it on DVD and VHS.
Hey, Julie, how many movies?
I'm a lifer with Dumb and Dumber.
How many movies do you own, Julie?
Oh, okay. Movies, I'm at over 400. And then TV series, I have over 65 titles of shows, and then I have nearly every season of every show that I own.
Whoops.
Oops. Accidentally became a collector. Not sorry. It's so good though. I still go through them all the time. Whenever I like am rewatching a show, my mom's like, "You watch this all the time?" I'm like, "See, but that's why I buy all these DVDs. Yeah. It's worth it."
Yeah, because if you're gonna watch it multiple times, you might as well own it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay.
So you're dressed super fancy today,
and you're dressed in sweats today.
Yep.
Not downgrading that, obviously.
Downgrade away.
I dress in sweats all the time.
Yeah.
Well, they're more yoga pants, really.
They are definitely yoga pants.
Yoga pants can pass sometimes.
Namaste on me, please, because you're comfortable. Yeah. I was getting ready today. I was actually wearing jeans all day. And then I was like getting ready for tonight. And I was like, what are we doing tonight? Hanging out with kids and then recording a podcast. Yep. I'm just going to get in comfortable clothes because I already put in my nice clothes time with the podcast. Yes, my nice clothes was t-shirt and jeans. Now I'm on to t-shirt and
yoga pants.
Yoga pants, yeah.
Yeah.
Next week it'll be sweatpants. Oh, actually, you'll see in the winter when we record these, I give up on fashion totally, and I'm just like huge tie-dye sweatshirts and just like
you're like done.
Sweatpants. I'm just like, nope, no more fashion.
I feel like there's a time like where in the wintertime hits like cold seasons and everybody just gives up for like until like that like one like 3-day span around Christmas where everybody has to dress super fancy for like events or whatever, or like nice enough that like your relatives aren't going to ask you what you're doing with your life.
Why are you doing this with your life? Yeah. Yep. I agree with that.
And then like you're right as soon as the holiday season's done, you're like right back into your huge hoodies,
sweatpants,
and your sweatpants.
And New Year's is that it's the week between Christmas and New Year's, because New Year's I'm always like, I got these New Year's pants last year that I'm just in love with.
Those gold ones?
Yeah. So the front of them, they're like jeans, but they're not jean material. But the front of them is gold sequences, like full on. But then the back of them is just black. And they're so fun and I love them. And last year they came the day before New Year's in the mail because I ordered them from the UK.
You were like ready.
I was like, this is meant to be. And then, but they were like, they just fit. So like, that's why I got so into fitness this year. I didn't tell many people this, but the main reason I got so into fitness is because I needed to fit in those again this New Year's. And I will. It's worked.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now I'm like into fitness, not just because of that. So that's great.
I really wish I could get more into fitness, but my shoes always break down. I love running so much whenever I do it, and just.
But your shoes break?
My shoes break, and then I break, and then everything breaks. I have to buy new work shoes. I found 2 holes in one shoe today.
Oh man!
I was like, and then I slipped on the floor. I didn't fall, but I like kind of skidded. And my manager saw me, and she was like, "Candace, aren't you wearing your no slip shoes? And I was like,
I hated
I
it
like
when they threw those at you.
I like showed her the bottom of my feet and I was like, yeah, totally. These were no slip. They weren't to begin with because all the no slip shoes looked too ugly. And I was like, I can sacrifice my safety for this.
Yep. Always did that too.
And then, but the bottom of the shoes were so worn out. And she was like, Candace, you need to buy new ones. And I was like, well, I just got paid, so I guess I will. Still haven't, but I mean,
I used to,
whatever.
when I worked there, I used to like ride it out as long as I could with my shoes. And I had this one pair that I had worn when I started working there in high school. And like 2 years later, I was still wearing them. And they were like infamous in my workplace. And everybody was always like, Julie, just get new shoes. Or people thought it was hilarious. I thought it was hilarious. And then my boss went on vacation for a week. And it was during that time that they totally broke apart. And I was like, man, I got to get new shoes. So to like keep them in the family, I didn't hide them. I put them in one of her shelves in her office while she was gone. Got like a different manager to open it for me. And she didn't notice for a couple of days when she came back. And then when she finally did, she was like, ew, are you kidding me? I'm like, I just had to keep them here because they're so special.
They've been here for 2 years. They've been a part of this family.
Yes, they work here just as much as I do. Anyways, so yoga pants, you're wearing a dress.
But Julie saw me and she was like, oh, you're so like, I love your dress. It's so nice. And I was like, it's for the laziest reason ever though. I put off doing my laundry for so long and all my jeans are dirty and all my shirts are dirty. And
Amazing reason.
I only had dresses left. So I was like, guess I'm wearing a dress tonight.
Yeah, I said to her, I was like, great. The 1 week I gave up and was like, sweatpants. You wore a dress. She's like, it's because I had no pants. Okay.
So technically we're both in really lazy outfits.
So yeah, welcome to the lazy episode. You wouldn't know it.
You wouldn't know, yeah.
Maybe from this side. But yeah.
I
That's
mean,
how I lazy.
if I could live in pajamas, I would though.
I would. I love pajamas.
We had a conversation at work today. We were like, I was like, can we just wear pajamas to work and not work and just have a slumber party here and eat muffins all day?
Can that be this job?
Can I just get paid for that? My supervisor was just like, yeah, I think we should have a day like that.
That'd be fun.
Just sorry, we're closed because we're having a slumber party. Just like eat muffins and drink coffee in front of people.
So good.
Like,
when I was in high school,
sorry, we're closed. Just drink it right there.
Just stare at them.
Sorry, no coffee here.
When I was in high school, we had uniforms, and a lot of us used to wear pajama pants under our uniform pants during the winter. It was just so comfortable. I mean, our actual uniform pants were pretty comfortable too. Most of us agreed on that, but
yeah,
we used to wear pajamas quite a bit. But yeah, slumber parties, I remember that was like a fashion show of pajamas. Not a fashion show, but it was always like, which ones am I going to wear to a slumber party? I love slumber parties. I still have them.
Yeah? I'm having a slumber party
like
tomorrow,
not slumber
actually.
parties, but I have sleepovers like all the time just because I'm like, I'm not going home, I'm sleeping here.
I used to do that all the time when I was in high school. And like in grade 11 and like 12, I was constantly staying at my one friend's house.
Yeah.
I'd just walk to her house was so close to my high school. So I'd walk with her back to her house and then we'd stay so late. I was just like, yeah, I think I'm staying here. She was like, okay, whatever. And then I'd just call my mom. Hey, yeah, I'm staying at Taylor's. Okay, love you. Bye. And it got to the point where it was like it didn't really matter that it was a weekday because I'd just wear the same pants the next day and one of her shirts.
That's amazing.
Yep. And I had this she just moved out, so I helped her pack some stuff and it was her clothing and stuff and it was this one Owl City shirt that I borrowed one time after one of those like weekday sleepovers.
Yeah.
And every single time I would wash it and I'd mean to give it back to her, I'd constantly forget, and me never doing laundry, I'd be like, this is the only shirt left. And I'd put it on, I'd wear it to school, and I was like, yeah, I was going to give this back to you, but I kept forgetting. And then I ran out of shirts, and now I'm wearing this.
That's amazing.
And she'd be like, yeah, that's fine. And it went on like that for about 6 months where I'd just forget and wear
But did
it
you
to
eventually
school.
give it back to her?
Yeah, because I found it
that's
when I was
nice.
helping her pack. I was like, hey, Taylor, remember this Owl City shirt that I always wore because I ran out of laundry?
You can have it again.
Like I found it in her laundry. It was in her keep pile too. So it's kind of like sentimental.
Now it's like Sisterhood of the Traveling Owl City t-shirt.
Yeah, it really is. It was really emotional too because I texted her while I was at work. I was like, you're moving tomorrow. Are you excited? And she was like, oh crap, I have to pack. And I was like, surprise, you're moving. And she was like, can you come over and help me pack after work? And I was like, yeah, for sure.
Nice.
So I went over, and then when all said and done and I had to go, I was like, okay, bye. Have fun moving tomorrow. And I like stepped out the door, and I was like, oh my gosh, you're moving tomorrow. And I like cried in front of her, and she was like, get back in here. We brought it in. It was good. Nice. But it was like, surprise, you're moving. Like,
me and my friend, when we graduated from high school and she was moving away, just like an hour away for school, but we were like, we can't give this friendship up. So we actually bought a pair of pants that fit both of us. And for the first, I think, year and a half, maybe 2 years, we successfully sisterhooded the traveling pants. Yeah. It was great. And we made a blog about it that didn't go anywhere. And we were the only ones who read it or wrote in it, obviously. But it was so fun. And then I think did we write something? Oh no, we used to leave when we would give them back to each other. We would leave a note in the pocket secretly.
That's so nice.
It was fun.
I wish I could I just want to go back and have more slumber parties. If I could change one thing about my past, it was more slumber parties. Yeah. No, I think I had a lot of amount of slumber parties. When was your first one? My first one was in kindergarten. I was 4 years old, and it was because my best friend Maria was moving away. And so I was like, Mom, she's moving away. Can she sleep over? And our moms got together, obviously, and was like, oh yeah, Maria can sleep over here. And she brought her Beanie Baby Lammy. And I still remember this because she slept over, and it was the funnest sleepover ever, and it was the best time. And she left the next day, but she forgot Lammy, but she was moving away, so I never got to see her again. No. And Lammy ended up being at my house for I would always find that Beanie Baby lamb everywhere for it was like a punctuation of my life. Every time I would look around, I'd be like, hey, that's that lamb from when I was 4 years old and had a sleepover with my best friend who moved away and I haven't seen since. Right. This lamb has been at my house forever. I don't know where it is now because we moved when I was in grade 10. Yeah. But up until we moved, this lamb was always somewhere. You'd always be able to find it. And it was so weird. Do you remember your first sleepover? Yeah. I was in grade 1. I think it was grade 1. My friend who I at that time considered my best friend, but as I grew up, my mom told me she was never my best friend and she took advantage of me and thought she was too cool. But grade 1, who knows, right? Yeah. I had no clue. I thought we were the best of friends. Anyways, her name was Kayla, and she had a birthday party. Her birthday was also in October, which I thought just made us the best of friends even more. And she had a bunch of us over for a sleepover, and I remember I was just like, cool, now I'm gonna sleep at my friend's house. I wasn't thinking of it as some monumental thing or whatever. I was just like, this is what's happening next. I mean, I had slept at cousins' houses and stuff like that, so I guess I was just used to it or something. But I remember one girl, I don't remember who it was, but I remember that she flipped out and they had to call her mom in the middle of the night. She was crying and just missed her mom. And I was like, oh, is that a thing that people do? Should I be missing my mom? Or I guess it's good that I'm not, kind of, right? And I just remember really understanding oh, she's scared to be away from home. Little did I know 20 years later that would be me. I mean, I can obviously still have sleepovers, but and go away, but yeah. But then Kayla moved away later that year to Winnipeg, and I never saw her again. Huh. And my mom was like, yeah, she hated you. Well, not hated me, but she didn't like me. What? I was probably too annoying. How does your mom pick up on that?
She told me a lot of things about my childhood later. She was like, oh yeah, I remember my first crush ever was Jason. And my mom, I think I got lice or something. My mom was like, who are you hanging out with or something? I was just like, no one. And then she visited my school once, and I was desk partners with Jason, which was just the best. What did I say? It was grade 2. Yeah. It was grade 2. And she saw that when we were writing on our papers, we both had our heads this all the time, and they were into each other. And she's like, yeah, he's giving you lice. And I'm like, oh, well, I mean, at that point she didn't tell me. She told me when I was an adult. She was like, yeah, your first crush gave you lice. I'm like, great.
Thanks, Jason.
So far I have picked great men. Give me lice. My best friend hated me. I was so oblivious. The more my mom tells me about things, I'm like, I had no clue what was going on.
I should ask my mom more about this stuff. She probably doesn't remember. She had twins and was in school for 2 years.
Yeah.
And my brother's 6 years older than me. And like, I doubt she remembers any of very little of my childhood. I guarantee it, because she would work midnights and then do half days at school.
Oh, wow.
And to like get her education right. And then she had twins, and my brother's also 6 years older than me.
Oh my gosh.
And then there was like the dog and her husband, obviously, and like bills and stuff. So it's like, if I were her, I wouldn't really remember any of that. But like,
yeah,
like super proud of my mom though for like,
yeah, that's a lot
like,
to do.
She worked full-time midnights and did like school for 2 years and raised kids. And
way to
like,
go, Mom.
Thanks, Mom.
That's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I remember another slumber party we had. It was my friend Alex's house, and it was her birthday. This is probably grade 4 or 5, I want to say. And we played with a Ouija board, and I had no clue. I had never even heard of what this was. I thought this was a fun board game, right?
Oh, I've never Ouija boarded before. I think it's too serious.
Oh,
Like that stuff?
never again. Never again. As soon as I got, I mean, this was nothing, and it was childish. We were kids. But we did it. And then I was like, I don't know what this is. Cool. We're doing this. So like, I was just like pushing it around and stuff. And everyone was like, whoa, it's moving. And I was just like, yeah, I'm pushing it. But I didn't tell her that. Whatever. And then later that night, this was so creepy at the time. I was sleeping. We were all just like sleeping on sleeping bags on the ground. And like, I remember being woken up in the middle of the night and felt something grabbing my foot. And I was like, what is happening? And they had like explained what the Ouija board is at that point before I went to bed. So I was like, oh my gosh. But then like I sat up and was like, nope, that was her cat attacking my foot, because my foot moves when I sleep. I've heard there's other people in the world who also do this. So I know some of you know what I'm talking about. But like my feet like move like this, like all the time. My mom gets really mad and she's like, stop moving the bed, because she's always in my bed when we're watching TV. Anyways, so yeah, that happened, but it was just her cat. But then I went home and was like, oh, Mom, we did this and this and this, whatever, just recapping. She's like, you played with a Ouija board? I was just like, yeah, it was a board game. And like, I remember my sister flipped out too, and they were just like, why would you do that? It's so bad to play like summoning spirits. Are you kidding me? Like, that's so like devil and all this stuff. I'm like, what? I had no clue. So since then, I'm just like, oh my gosh, that's serious. And no.
No, I know that it like, yeah, it's some serious business. That's all. Like, it's not like a kid's thing. And if you like believe in that kind of stuff, then you know it's like professional use only. It's
well, and not like just don't use only.
Don't use.
Yeah, that was an interesting summer party.
I went into, me and my sister were shopping at the mall today. Well, I mean, shopping at the mall, and there's this calendars and games store.
You can do it. I believe in you. It's okay. We'll get through it.
There's this calendar and game store, and we were looking at all this stuff, and there was a Ouija board there, and that's what made me remind me of that. But she bought our one friend, like she pulled me into the store, and she was like, look at that game. Look at that board game. I'm getting this from our one friend, Kira. Kira's our friend. And I'm not saying what it is. I'll tell you later what it is, but she's going to be pretty pumped for Christmas.
You guys are good at gifts, though. You got me Bibleopoly a couple years ago.
I remember that.
Which was hilarious.
Yeah, it was.
Okay. If you ever get a chance to play Bibleopoly,
Bibleopoly.
So fun. But like also a game that you play like I'll bring it out when I have a new batch of friends come over. New batch. When I've baked a new batch of friends and they come over, I'll be like, you got to try this game, because I think it's so hilarious. And then after everyone plays it once, they're like, yeah, that was really fun, but I'll never play it again. It's way too long.
Obviously, it's Monopoly.
So, yeah.
I don't know why there's
like,
so many
what other
versions.
Monopoly has been short ever?
Yeah, the one where you cheat. Heyo. I don't think I've ever played fair Monopoly ever in my life.
Wait, how are you cheating in Monopoly?
You just take money, you place houses when people aren't looking.
What?
Yeah.
I take Monopoly very seriously.
You take from other players.
We're not playing that. The only way I cheat in Monopoly, I shouldn't be giving away my secrets. This isn't actually cheating, but this is the key. To make people think that you're less rich than you are, you always hide the highest bill. Like in real Monopoly, it's the 500s. So you take all your 500s and you sit on them.
You just sit on
You
them.
just sit on them, or you put them in your pocket. So if you ever get up to go to the bathroom, they stay with you.
Yeah, that's true.
But you hide them for the entire game, and then like when the game's over and everyone's counting their money to see who had the most and who won, you're like, psych! I had $3,000 in my pocket. Do it. That's a safe way of cheating because you're not.
I thought
actually
Monopoly
cheating.
only ended when everybody goes bankrupt except for one person.
No, we ended it when the first person goes bankrupt. Then it's over and everyone counts their money.
That's so much shorter.
Well, it's still pretty long though.
Yeah, no. But consider if
Everyone.
person had to go bankrupt.
Yeah, I would not. That's like Cranium's a really long board game too, but it's so worth it. You've never played Cranium?
Remind me of what Cranium
That's
is.
a fun one. So you have to make it around the board, and then you're on a team with somebody, and there's 4 different colors I think, and there's drama / acting / singing or something. There's craft, not craft, but there's like molding clay or drawing something, and then there's like spelling stuff.
I feel like I've definitely played it, but I don't know if I've played it to finish.
Right, it's really fun. It's a longer one, but it's like it's a riot.
It reminds me of Quelf.
I love Quelf. That's my favorite one.
Yeah.
It takes a specific person to play Quelf with me though, or to play Quelf, not with me. I'm great to play games with, but Quelf is so hilarious. But most of the people who I explain it to are like, that has no point. I'm like, exactly. The point is just to be a fool, and it's so fun. Explain Quelf.
You're like a crazy character, and you go around, and like they're like colored spaces, like in Candyland. And basically, whatever space you land on, you draw a card, and the color space that you are is the color card you draw. And the color you draw depends on the category you do. So like the red one's like topics. Everybody has to go around the circle, and it's like concentration basically, except without all the rhyming.
Yeah.
And whoever can't think of something for the category that's given on the card, they lose and have to go back 2 spaces or something like that. And then there's like acting ones. There's ones where it's like, for the remainder of the game or until you get another like purple card or whatever, you have to bark like a dog at whoever is not playing the game but is within 5 feet of you or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. It's a game about nothing. So you just have to get from A to B while doing ridiculous things.
Yeah. It'll tell you something like, stand up and say like this paragraph like speech, and it'll be like, I sell watermelons in a cape and stuff like that. And like you just have to sit down with no context, or it'll be like talk in an accent for the rest of the game.
I love games that make you do ridiculous things. I think those are the funniest and funnest. I have another game called Ifs and Buts that is so fun if you ever get to play it. We played it one time with my like grandparents and my cousins and stuff, and my Oma. All I can always picture is my Oma, because she got this one task that like for an entire round she had to refer to my cousin as G Money. And if you can picture this old like German lady, and like my cousin was also helping her play the game, so he'd be like, oh, this is what you do, this is what you do, this is what you do, and she'd be like, okay, G Money, all the time. And like, so whenever I think of that game, I like just picture my Oma saying G Money. I'm like, this is a great game. And like she got it, so everyone can play this game. It's fun. I like board games.
Me too. That's why I thought of this store. Everything is Big Bang Theory, though. I saw Big Bang Theory Scrabble. I was like, I'm done.
That's crazy.
I'm done with this franchise. I'm just done.
Yeah. Too much.
It looks so fun, though. Like, there's so many board games in there, and I was like, look at that. They have a whole section for dog calendars. You kidding me?
Oh my gosh.
Was so ready for that.
I don't know why board games and calendars always go together in stores.
I have no idea either. I was into it, though.
Yeah.
Like, you turn to one side and it's board games. You turn to another side, it's calendars about dogs. I'm all about it.
My mom used to be one of our stocking gifts every year at Christmas. We would all get a calendar.
Yeah.
Back when like phones and computers didn't exist.
I still get calendars for Christmas.
Oh, nice.
They're always Marilyn Monroe ones.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
I remember there was one year that I'm pretty sure all of us siblings all got the Office calendars because we were all like obsessed with that show at one time.
I love that so much.
Yeah.
I remember 1 year for my birthday, I can't remember what friend got me the Dunder Mifflin t-shirt.
Oh, I love it when you wear that t-shirt.
I know, it's so fun. I love it so much. I was so stoked for it because whenever I saw it in the mall, I'd be like, there's my shirt.
I've got
there
that.
It is.
Yep.
I'm going to get that one day. And then somebody got it for me for my birthday.
That's
my
just
friend
magic.
ended up drawing me a card. she drew it for me. It was not a card. It was more like a banner or whatever. And I was wearing the Dunder Mifflin shirt in it. She doesn't even like The Office, but she still drew any in it. And I was like, eh. And it's funny because we've totally switched hair colors now.
Yeah.
Because my hair was black when I got it and her hair was red. Now her hair is like, it's not black, but it's dark. And now my hair is red. And it's just like, time flew. Do you ever look at pictures or anything like that and remind yourself?
Oh, yes. The other day, my friend Heidi sent me a picture from high school, and she was just like, throwback. We were not attractive. And I was like, no, we weren't. And it sprung me. I went through this old book that I have. I got my first camera when I was in grade 8, and it was like a film camera, obviously. And I have a full book of pictures from that camera, and they're just like the most horrendous pictures you will ever see of human beings. None of them are attractive. Like, even though it's kids, it's just like, they're not cute. Like, they're nothing. They're so gross. So I started taking pictures of those. And then, like, I think I showed a couple people and I was like, I just need to stop showing people this because it's not doing anything for my game.
Self-esteem.
Yeah, it's so bad. Ugh, it's the worst. But anyways, yeah.
I have a bunch of like, I think there's like a part in time where just like no pictures were taken of me. And that's like grade like 7 to like 10.
Oh, that's a good couple years to.
I mean, like, you have your classic
have
like
pictures of you.
School pictures, and you have like maybe the occasional like birthday or
Right.
Christmas, but nothing really. And then like it was just like there's a ton of baby pictures of me and toddler pictures. So my parents loved to exploit the fact that they had twins.
Oh yeah.
So they'd race us in our like little like wobble back and forth chairs or whatever those were. They're like, they weren't like rocking chairs by any means, but they're like you throw toddlers, not throw them, but you put toddlers in them.
Okay.
And they like rocked back and forth to like make your kid go to sleep or whatever. I don't know what they're called.
I know what you're talking about.
They used to race us with those because when we moved, we would like when we rocked back and forth, we'd move forward a little bit. They'd be like, twin races, here we go.
Your parents were just like, we have twins. How much fun can we have with this?
Yep, basically. So there's pictures of us like swapping clothes and stuff like that. And I used to wear glasses from age 3 till age 11. So there's pictures of Vanessa wearing my glasses and me not wearing glasses and just being like this one-eyed weirdo.
Oh,
there's pictures of my dad was having a beer and holding me, and he like handed me the beer, and it was just an empty beer bottle, but it's like me wearing sunglasses passed out in dad's arms.
That's
holding
hilarious.
a beer bottle, and he's like, eh.
That's really cute.
It was at my Oma's house too, and my Oma was like, you shouldn't be doing that. Like, it was so funny. My parents were telling me this story, and they were like, Mom, the beer bottle's empty. I mean, not A+ parenting, but it's not like I turned
it's
out
hilarious
wacko.
parenting. Yeah. I'm okay, see?
My eye doesn't go funky anymore, so guess I recovered from my binge drinking.
Something right is happening. Yeah, no, that's a good couple of years. That's like the awkward stages to not have pictures of you, though.
Oh, believe you me, my awkward stages were up until maybe like 2 years ago. Plenty of pictures of me looking horrendous. Don't you worry.
We still had time for that.
Yep.
Yeah, we were looking at prom pictures this week. I don't know.
Ooh.
We've been doing a lot of throwback pictures through texts, but they were pretty interesting.
I feel like I'll always be safe with my prom pictures because I didn't go overboard with my dress or anything like that. Like, people who go crazy overboard with their like gowns or dresses or something like that, like, you know, you're gonna regret those pictures one day. You're like, if you're like you're gonna like 80s, like how people look back at the pictures they took when they were in the 80s, and
those
are
like, bad.
Oh, like even people in the 80s knew 80s fashion was bad. Like, they lived in the 80s and they were like, this is terrible clothing. Guess I'm wearing it.
I love 80s clothing. Tight and bright, man, all the way.
But like, especially I watch a lot of like Say Yes to the Dress and stuff like that, or what's the one? Something Borrowed. I can't remember.
Something blue, something old, something new.
No, it's, yeah. Well, I mean, it's that one show where they're like, something borrowed, something new. Yeah, that's what it's called, actually.
Yeah, I have 10 channels on my TV.
Oh, well, there's this one where it's like, we can remake your mom's wedding dress, or you can buy a new wedding dress. So, and then they decide at the end.
Oh yeah, my cousin was talking about this the other day because she wants to get her mom's dress remade, and she's like, I gotta get on that show. She's not anywhere near being married, but that's her plan.
Yeah. Well, it's like so many of them are wearing these 80s dresses.
Yeah.
And like so many are just like, they're like holding on to that dress was so good in the 80s, I promise. And like everybody's saying like the 80s fashion was the worst for wedding dresses ever.
Yeah. It was like puffy and like
sleeves on sleeves
and like
mesh.
up to the neck always. Yeah, I
Just a
know. My
mess.
mom really would like it if one of us had worn hers, but
my mom says
doesn't really look like it. It's gonna happen. Sorry.
My mom's like, you're not wearing mine no matter what.
Oh really?
She's like, no. My Oma like made a little tiny version. Not tiny. It's a significantly smaller version of my mom's wedding dress, and she has it on this doll in her dining room.
Oh my
Have I told you of
gosh.
my Oma's doll collection?
No.
She has them cataloged and everything.
What?
Her whole living room is dolls. Not living room, dining room. Her whole dining room is dolls.
Your mother's mother.
Yes, my Oma.
Yeah.
Dolls.
Wow.
She has well over 500.
Oh my
I'm not even
goodness.
kidding you.
I
And
wouldn't
one
have
of-
guessed.
Yeah, no, seriously.
Yeah, no.
Ton of dolls. I'll take you to her house one time. It'll be hilarious. You'll come. There's this one Lucille Ball one. She loves I Love Lucy.
Oh yeah, who doesn't?
I know people they obviously haven't watched the show.
Obviously they were not brought up right if they don't like shows like I Love Lucy.
I love that show. Yep. Anyway, there's this one Lucille Ball doll that she has like. She doesn't have a window in her kitchen. She just has like this, like she does have a window, but it like looks into the dining room.
Okay.
And so there's this one I Love Lucy doll that's like facing, like it's on a shelf right outside the window. So it faces right down at you while you're doing dishes at the sink. And it's just like smiling this huge, like murderous smile.
Yeah.
And it's like, I love the show I Love Lucy, and Lucille Ball is super cute, but this is not a good doll.
Man.
It's so scary, and it's just looking at you doing dishes, and you're just like, hey, and it's like staring right back at you. And
Oh, I would never be able to sleep in a house that had $1 million. I'd be like 100% they're gonna wake up when I'm sleeping and just like even if they don't do anything murderous, I don't like that.
I don't like that you're here.
Not in my house.
No.
Like Toy Story is real.
Yeah. Well,
There's
obviously.
no doubt about that.
I mean, I would not be comfortable if my toys came alive like that.
No.
Don't get me wrong. Toy Story was a good series, though.
Yes.
I loved it.
But I don't want them up when I'm sleeping.
No thanks. Or even when I'm not around, just nuh-uh.
I do get really creeped out about certain things. Like recently, I put my Wii back in my room so that I could finally beat Mario Galaxy because it's been far too long. Me not being able to beat it. And I was like, maybe if I just put it right in front of me, I can. Anyways. But the Wii light, like when it's turned off, that blue light shines and it's so bright. So I took a bunch of like DVDs and I just like put them in front of the Wii when I'm sleeping. But then like I had it and there was the Curious Case of Benjamin Button. That was the first DVD that was open and they were just like staring at me. And I was like, nope, that's not happening. So I had to like pick the right one. Oh, it was, yeah, I don't know why I get creeped out about things like that. But like don't stare at me. Yet, I say that, yet on the other wall, I have like a huge picture of Johnny Cash staring down at me. I have Audrey Hepburn on another wall. I have like George Clooney and all the people from Oh Brother Where Art Thou. They can stare at me, but apparently Benjamin Button's just like, because their faces are looking right at me. I don't know.
I haven't watched that movie in a really long time.
I've actually never seen that
Wait,
movie.
you have it
No.
and you haven't seen
I
it?
just borrowed it from my friend because I was like, oh, I've never seen this. I should see it. But I borrowed a couple movies and
It's
I
really
watched the
good.
ones first. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I mean,
There's parts of it, like it's just it breaks your heart a little bit.
really?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Like it's good though. It is a good movie. It's like a heart wrencher though. So
Eh.
don't go into it thinking it's going to be one of these happy-go-lucky.
Just watch it on a dramatic day or like when I'm having a really like emotional, I just need to cry day.
Yeah, definitely. If you need to cry, watch that movie.
I borrowed P.S. I Love You with that bunch, and because I had always sworn I would never see it because I'm like, why would I watch a movie that specifically is coming to make me cry?
That movie makes me cry. Like there's like tiny breaks between me crying. Like if I start crying, I can guarantee you it's going to keep going.
Really?
Yep. There's parts of it that aren't even supposed to make you cry that I'm crying at because I just think of it like existentially.
Yeah, right,
like,
right.
Oh no.
I made it to like the end when she reads the last letter. I'm just like, oh no. This is too much.
It ends on an upbeat note, but like that
but
whole journey, you're just like crying. And like you don't like Hilary Swank when she was with like in those flashback scenes. I hate Hilary Swank in those.
I hate Hilary Swank in general. I think that's what made
that episode of The Office.
I just watched that episode recently and I was like, oh yeah, now I actually know like
is
her
Hilary
from a movie.
Swank hot?
Then Michael comes in at the end and he's just
she's
like
pretty hot.
Pretty hot.
Yes. No.
Yeah, I always felt bad for that because I feel like I kind of have similar features to Hilary Swank in a way. Like my mouth's too big.
Like my mouth's too big. Nobody else is feeling that way.
I do.
You feel that way. Hey, you have a beautiful mouth.
Thanks.
You have a beautiful face. Don't even worry about your face or your mouth.
Okay. I'm good.
Is that why we started playing Mr. Headmaster, sir? It's this game where you have to talk with your lips covering your teeth. With your lips covering your teeth.
I'm just gonna talk normally.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean,
yeah, you can't show your pearly whites.
Nope, you can't show your pearly whites.
Or you get demerit points and you can't laugh or anything. I just like being like...
I know a lot of games collectively.
Mm-hmm. I love games.
Okay, I just want to go to that store with you now.
Which store was it?
It's called Calendars and Games.
Wait, that's what it's called?
Yeah, you know where...
Penn Center?
Yeah, you know where Blue Notes used to be?
I don't go to malls. Blue Notes isn't there?
Like, no, it just moved across the store.
Yeah, that's right. Across from like that...
It's close to Shoppers.
The Suzy Shear or whatever.
Yeah, it's close to there.
Okay.
Yeah, it's by that end. We'll go one day. It'll be great.
Yeah.
We'll look through all of them. We'll look at calendars. It'll be great. It'll just be the best.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's card games and stuff. I started looking through those. I saw this one calendar and it was like weed information calendar, and it was so funny because like every day you learn a new fact about weed. And one of them, the one on the back, no, it's
so
funny.
Informative.
No, the one on the back was like, in 1987 or something, there was like this huge drug deal that went bad. And so they dumped like 20 tons of weed into the ocean from a yacht. And out of like a huge amount, like it was 20 tons worth of weed, and it was 2-pound cans. Out of all of the cans that washed up, only 20 were turned into the police.
Oh, I get it. It took me a minute there.
Oh no. What could have happened to all that missing drugs?
All the sharks were going for the weed. Could you imagine a high shark? Sometimes I like to imagine the least threatening animals that could become zombies. Like, can you imagine a zombie sloth? It'd be like...
What's a zombie goldfish?
It would forget every 3 seconds that it was a zombie.
Brain.
Oh my gosh. It was a little bit too loud of a laugh. That was hilarious. Yeah. Like most zombie like dogs and cats would be just horrific.
Okay, yeah,
but
that for real.
Some dogs would be like, because you know how there's some dogs who in general their personalities are just like like, can you like those cute little dogs that constantly have their tongue sticking out? I feel like I would keep that zombie dog.
Like I would keep that. If you were a dog, I would keep you.
If you were a zombie dog, I would keep you. Those would be cute. But like zombie sharks, could you imagine those? Like, would they be less threatening than they already are because they would move slower, or would they still move fast?
I feel like it depends on the zombie universe, because in some universes, zombies do run and they do move fast and accurately. In a lot of zombie universes, there are like different types too. And I know a lot. Yeah.
I'm thinking like Walking Dead universe. So like sometimes they're fast, but most of the time they're just like, good. But they're not like super slow either.
Yeah. But
not like Zombieland, because those ones like run.
Yeah. Yeah, they do.
Yeah. I'm thinking
Walking Dead ones do like, they go pretty fast sometimes.
Sometimes they do.
Sometimes they don't even recognize that people are there, though.
Yeah, like Carol. Are you watching this season?
I'm not caught up whatsoever.
Oh, okay.
But I do remember in like season 2, they were all hiding under cars on that abandoned highway, and that's when Sophia went missing. Remember?
Oh yeah.
This isn't spoilers because it was season freaking 2, so I'm just saying.
Yeah. No.
So like all those zombies just like walked by, like there's tons of them, and they were like living people just hiding under cars.
They're like guys. Like if you see it, they know it's there, but if not, they're just dumb.
True dat.
Yeah. And sometimes they would like dress themselves in zombie guts and then like walk with them, and the zombies are like, I don't know anything that's going on. I just want brains.
Those are also zombies.
Smells like one must be one.
Yep.
Could you imagine? Somebody said this week, I watch Walking Dead most weeks with a group of people, and somebody was like, I just lost my train of thought. They were like, imagine how the zombie universe smells. Like everything just must smell horrific because like they're just dead bodies walking everywhere, smelling.
Like, yep.
And like everything else hasn't been cleaned.
That's
ever.
True.
So like it just
you don't have any showers either there, right? So even if you were a living
BO is just person, like happening.
Yeah, that's just
like
there's no nope. It's not even worth it. Just not even worth living in the zombie universe.
I would probably give myself to a zombie just so I didn't have to smell it all.
I would not give myself to a zombie. That seems like an aggressively painful death.
Yeah. But I would have a hard time killing myself.
Yeah, that's the thing. You'd probably have to find somebody who would kill you. I'm just saying.
Would you kill me?
Would I kill you? We'll do it. 3, 2, 1.
It's like roulette. Do both of us die? Do one of us die? What happens?
You can't leave me here.
Oh, man. But if you got bitten and you were infected,
yeah,
I would shoot your brains for you.
Oh, thanks. I'd do the same for you.
Or would you want to come back as a zombie?
I would not want to come back as a zombie.
I think I would.
But really?
I think so.
You would eat people.
Well, yeah,
you would just be some rotting thing.
Yeah, but I could be all like...
I mean, it could be like Shane, though, who got shot in the head and then just gets back up.
I do not want to be like Shane.
Hey, I don't want Shane's earlobes. His earlobes are huge. That's all I could see after you notice it. Go back and see Shane, and you'll look at his earlobes, and you'll be like, those are the size of planet Earth.
I definitely never noticed that.
You will now.
Just noticed how dumb he was. I did not like him. I was so happy when Carl killed him.
Nobody liked Shane. We can all agree on that.
Shane, you're the worst. You were the worst.
Good actor, though.
Yeah. You know who's a really good actor, though? Andrew Lincoln, because I always forget that he's the guy from Love Actually, even though for years that was all I knew him as. And I was like, to me, you are perfect, because that's what he says in the movie. And then, but Walking Dead universe, it's like, you're a really good actor because you're a totally different person.
What character was he? I've never seen Love Actually. I'm not a huge movie person. I'm getting more into it, but
that's okay. You don't have to be. Well, I mean, Love Actually was one of those movies where there's a bunch of different storylines.
Okay, like
and they're all falling in love.
Like
so
that.
He was.
I'm trying to think. He's just not that into you.
Yeah,
like that one.
Yeah,
okay.
he's just not that into you.
I watched
Valentine's Day. What, like lots
so
now.
many.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he was in love with Keira Knightley.
Okay.
Who was his
I
best
think
friend's
we all
wife?
Are, so.
What? Yeah. So he showed up. This is not spoilers because this movie came out years ago, but.
The podcast where we're all like, this isn't spoilers.
The episode that is not spoilers, because if you haven't seen it, you don't care. Anyways, he shows up at her door, like, or it's around Christmas time, so everyone's falling in love, whatever. And he shows up at her door, and she's like, her husband's like, who's at the door? And she's like, oh, it's just carolers. And like he has a CD player and he has like voices singing, whatever. And then he has this like all of these huge cue cards or whatever you call them, and he like has this whole speech written out. And then like the last like page is just like, cause to me you are perfect. And then he just like looks at her and they like nod, and then he's like, all right, and he walks away. And then she like runs after him and hugs him and then leaves, and then he walks away and he's just like, it's done now. It's done, or something like that. I don't know. But he's British in real life, which is the biggest thing.
Wow.
To me. I'm like,
what? What?
I don't know. He's great. Walking Dead. Watch it.
Wait, what character is he in Walking Dead?
Oh, sorry.
That's what I mean.
Oh, sorry.
Who is he in Walking Dead?
He's the main guy. He's Rick.
Rick?
Yeah.
Wow.
Rick.
Carl.
Yeah. Oh, I wish you would have watched because I really want to talk about what just happened last week.
Do you know what? One day I'll catch up. I'm really bad at shows.
Yeah.
I really am. I get super into them and then I'll watch them nonstop and then I'll catch up and then it's a
mustard.
Nope, I'm done. Ketchup and mustard. Really funny, Julie.
My friend and I used to, whenever she moved away this is the traveling pants friend.
Yeah.
We would like message each other and be like, we need to catch up. And we would spell it ketchup. And then the next person would answer and be like, yes, let us. And then like we would try to go on like as long as we could. We were funny guys. We still do it, I'm sure. We're funny.
I'm not trying to sound undermining right now. I feel like I sound like a really undermining person, but I'm not. Maybe I'm just oversensitive of my own words.
You're overanalyzing yourself.
Yeah, I really am.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm really bad for that, aren't I?
Yeah. I don't know, but I overanalyze everyone else. And I was telling my friend the other day, I was overanalyzing a conversation with someone else to my other friend.
Yeah.
And they were just like, stop overanalyzing. Because I said, I'm going to overanalyze this now, okay? She was like, no.
No, it's not okay.
Okay, it's probably a better idea not to.
Okay, I'll just do it myself. You like set up your like stuffed Stitch and you're like, okay, I'm going to overanalyze this conversation to you now.
Set up.
Stitch is like silent. You're like, okay, I'm glad you're on board.
Stitch just goes, Ohana means family. Family means no one that's left behind or forgotten. Yeah.
I was talking to this one girl I work with today, and she was like, I didn't, because I went up to her and I was like, Hakuna Matata, Beth. And she was like, I didn't like that movie. I was like, what? You didn't like The Lion King? She was like, yeah, or that Stitch one. I didn't like that one either. And I was like, no. And she was like, you know what one I did like? Up. She dies right at the beginning, and that's realistic. And I was like, yeah, it's really realistic, Beth. He goes up in the air with that house
she
of
wants
balloons.
Realistic. The Lion King, like, the father dies. How is that not realistic? That happens.
I don't know if she remembered it, but she was like, yeah, I liked Up because it's like she got sick and she died. And also they couldn't have kids. And that's like real life hurts. And I was like, yeah. And she was like, yeah, that's like realistic. And I was like, he goes up in the air in a house with millions of balloons. She was like, Candace, have you tried it? And I was like,
do you know for a fact it can't happen?
I was like, okay, you got me on that one, Beth, I guess. It was a good movie, though. What kind of movie makes you cry in like 5 minutes, though?
But yeah, Up. But my big shtick with that is like, does she not realize the stories behind the other things? Lilo and Stitch, they were dealing with like, they had no parents.
Lilo and Stitch was some real talk too. And Nani does not get the amount of credit that she should for raising Lilo the way she does.
Props to Nani.
Yep. She doesn't make Lilo feel like an idiot about her ideas. She constantly lets her feed PB&Js to her one goldfish she thinks that controls the weather. And it's like, because her parents died in a rainy accident. And it's like, if she thinks her fish controls the weather, obviously she wants to keep it happy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and she doesn't tell like Lilo that Stitch isn't a dog or anything like that. You know what I mean? Like, she's supportive, you know? Props to Nani.
Props to Nani. And the guy, what was the guy's name? Because he was so supportive too.
I can't remember his name.
The other guy, That was
she thinks you have a cute butt and fancy hair.
That's right.
I read her diary. She thinks it's fancy.
Oh, so
me
good.
just quoting Lilo and Stitch all the time.
My friend and I used to say that if we ever got tattoos, then we would get Ohana means family. Oh, it just means so much to me, not just from the movie. Like Ohana does mean family, guys. No one gets left behind or forgotten. It's a great thing to say
it's your
in
birthday,
conversation. But
just kidding.
Yeah. Yep.
I
had nothing else after that, but we're almost out of time anyways.
I walked up to Vanessa today, who's like, we're twins. And I go up to her and I was like,
you've got that now. It's episode 6.
Yeah. I mean, if you don't, spoilers. It's not spoilers. I'm so funny. I walked up to her and I was like, hey, Vanessa, remember when we were born together? She was like, no. And I was like, me neither. And then we were both of us together was like, I can't believe you forgot our birthday. Oh, are you kidding me? I can't believe you forgot our birthday. You did too. Sorry, we didn't remember the exact moment of birth, but
Twin jokes.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, one day I'll be a social person who isn't awkward and says weird things.
I don't plan on ever being that. I embrace how awkward I am.
The dream's alive, but I was working in a different store the other day, and all of them were like, "Oh, I wish you could meet little Sarah. She reminds me of you so much because she's so socially awkward too." And I was like,
Thank you.
sorry, I'm such an embarrassing jellyfish in a sea called shame.
Oh my gosh, the analogies, they're everywhere.
They are.
Catch them. And with that,
it's been a good episode 6.
I have enjoyed my time here.
I as well. Okay. Love you.
Bye.